you are showing a new side to yourself. You mentioned, hey, I want to not only pass things down to my kids, my family, do things for them. You're thinking about football or life after football.
Right.
But you also mentioned coming out of your shell a little bit more this year. What kind of spurred that on? Was that something you said in your brain, like, hey, I need to open up a little bit more?
I would say it would just be like a gradual thing, like just going through experiences, meeting people, being in new places, especially like being in Miami. There's so much opportunity down here. There's so much like so many people that you meet outside of the football world. Even just like going to F1, I've met so many people, and then like I went to the Super Bowl, and not the game, but like I had a signing out there, and I was shout out to my friend Lex, but she invited me to a private event, and I met like the CEO of not even CEO, but one of the CEOs of like I think of Microsoft, or an exec from Microsoft. I don't know, but he talked to me. He offered to like give back to my foundation, give laptops for free, and then I got invited to Martha's Vineyard to speak because they just liked how I carried myself. But that was also like me noticing how valuable I can be to myself. Just like by just going in rooms and being myself and just talking, and just wanting to. That's how you just change. It's a choice. You know what I'm saying? It's a choice that we all have to better ourselves or just stay in our shell and not just notice the places I'm in, the people I'm around, just to take advantage of it.
Yeah, I mean, you have an incredible opportunity.
You feel me? And now you don't really get too many of those.
Right.
So that was just me being attentive to my surroundings and wanting to be better.
Right. You mentioned your value, and you're giving back. You're giving away laptops and stuff. Yeah. What is your foundation? Can you tell us about that?
Yes, in LA. It's called Not Long Ago.
Okay.
My mom helped me come up with it. My name involves it, but it also is a sentence for I can relate to these kids that I want to influence and help. Like not long ago, I was in your place. Not long ago, like I was just at this school, like wherever I'm at, doing the foundations and not. My first event was my Mother's Day event because my foundation is towards single mothers and underserved youth. You know what I'm saying? So that was my first event was around Mother's Day. That was just when I had started it, and I gave my mom an award because I was raised by a single mom. But it's just so many kids that have the same situation. Watch their mom work super hard to give them a better life, and sometimes they go unappreciated. You know what I'm saying? So I wanted to show these kids and mothers that we do appreciate you, and let the kids know that you need to show that. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of it goes unnoticed. You know what I'm saying? And nobody's about to continue to do good work. I mean, depending who that person is, without being appreciated for it. You know what I'm saying? So that's my mission, is to continue to just create avenues where these kids can come out and see something different than what they see every day.
Just talking to you and learning about you while we've been doing this, it seems like you're a guy who has really found perspective in life. You mentioned your mom growing up with a single mother, and you pointed out the picture of your brother Keith, who I know is no longer with us, but you've gone through tragedies in your life. Right. How have you dealt with those tragedies and maybe have changed? And is that part of you opening up at this point?
It is, because it's like when you say how I dealt with those. It's like, let me tell you like a quick crazy story. So when my brother passed, like I said, that we played. We had a game that Sunday night. It was November. It was 2020 when COVID just started. Yeah. And after the game, it was the next morning. We go in the film, and as I'm driving down my driveway, I get a call from my other brother. I had two big brothers. Yeah. The younger one called me like, "What's going on?" I'm like, "What you talking about?" Like, he said they saying that Keith died, and I'm like, "What?" And I hung up because like it's early. I'm like, "But I ain't trying. That's not what I'm." So I hung up. I wasn't even trying to get to the bottom of it because it's like that was wild. So I drove to practice. we had meetings, and then after a break in the meeting, went to my locker, and my sister was crazy. My sister was calling me as I got to my locker, and I answered, and she was crying, and I was like, oh, okay, it's real in my head. I didn't say it, but I seen it, and she was like, she tried to talk, and I just hung up. I couldn't even bear to hear it.
Right.
So right there, I started bawling. I went to Coach Braves' office, and cause it was in Atlanta, and Tennessee is like a 3-4 hour drive. So I went to Braves' office, and I told him what was going on. I said, I gotta go down there. This is a Monday. We got a Thursday night game against the Colts. So it's like my time is limited. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what people don't understand. Like real life be happening. You know what I'm saying? And we still gotta show up. So I drove down on a Monday. Console my mom and siblings and all that, and I had to drive back Tuesday morning. And we played Thursday. I'm not in my head's not in the game, so I gave up a block punt to EJ Speed. That's my dog. But I was so that Zaire Franklin, we was going at it. But I was on his head, but he don't even know, like, I'm really mad at some other stuff, you know what I'm saying? But he wasn't even my number that I was supposed to block, and EJ Speed got through, he blocked up punt. Whatever, we ended up losing the game, not because of that, but that happened. So the next day, Friday, I go in for testing, because you know you got to test before you go in the building. I get COVID. Yeah. I got COVID. So now, and I got bad COVID too. I lost like 15 pounds, like, you know, sweats. Like, yeah, it was bad. So now I'm at home for 2 weeks. Nobody can be around me. You know what I'm saying? And at that time, I was just
I'm
isolated at the worst time. The worst time. And it was just like, damn, okay, it's like nothing I can do about my situation. I can either let it drive me crazy. I can either soak in my, you know, my sadness, and, you know, or I can look at it a different way. You know what I'm saying? I can use this a different way. And that's when I started getting into like different avenues of helping my mental. You know what I'm saying? Because if you don't acknowledge, you know, that you're going through something, you don't treat it, right? It could turn a different way. You know what I'm saying? I could have turned into a mean ass person. You know what I'm saying? Right. So and just blame life for doing it. You know what I'm saying? Like people are turning to just blame, and no, you have a choice. You know what I'm saying? And I had a choice just to, you know, turn it into something different. At that point, I came back, and I think we played, we missed the Ravens game. We had the Colts again. The Colts was my first game back. Right. And I think they was trying to play Will Compton for a little bit, just because they didn't want me back out there yet. And then, like, I'm gonna show you a hit that I got on. It was a crossing route, smashed him, but he felt every bit of pain, you know, that I was going through them last couple of weeks. And then it's like, you know, grief is, you know, it's tough, because it's like it just never goes away. Right. You know what I'm saying? You just learn how to navigate it. You know what I'm saying? So that's where I was getting into, like, you know, crystals. You know, so I still got like
energy.
Yeah, stuff like this. You know, like what is this called again?
Is that like, don't you light it on fire?
You light it on fire, yeah.
No, it's...
I don't know why I'm...
Phil Jackson, the old Bulls and Lakers head coach, used to do this before games.
Yeah.
Not a seance, right? Yeah.
Damn. Nah, it's...
You burn this...
And you like...
Yeah.
It's like energy. Sage.
Yeah,
yes.
sage.
So, I started getting into sage and stuff like that. And, like, you know, I had a friend that was just introduced me, like, just plants. Yeah. Or just, like, you know, a grounding. You know, walking and just reconnecting with the earth, or with just your bare feet. Or, like, just, like, you know, in the sun. It's just, like, there's certain ways you can just, like, continue to grow. And I would just find the avenues to be better. Because it's, like, and I'll stay by myself, you know what I'm saying? So it's just, like, I could soak in it. Yeah. Or I can just continue to try to work on it. And I got a therapist in Tennessee. She was a part of the team. Then I got another therapist where I worked out in Austin, which just helped me. And then through that help, I learned, damn, okay, I can relate to people now. You know what I'm saying? Not even now I can relate, but it's like I can use this as a, you know, a point where I can help someone else. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't have to let it turn you cold, or, you know, you don't have to let life turn you cold. You know, it's a choice. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I went about it.
Yeah, it's interesting, I think, to come up on the crossroads and know you're at a crossroads?
Yeah.
Did you know you were at it,
Yeah.
or did someone tell you?
I knew I was at it, cause like I went through so much death in college. I mean, I just did this story with Go Long, but I talked about I lost so many people throughout college. You know what I'm saying? And like even when I got Defensive Player of the Year over there,
I saw it.
Yeah, but it's like when Coach Gibby sent me the news, I wasn't even really too much excited about it.
Right.
But I wish I could have been. I wish when I look back like that, I wish I would have enjoyed that. You know what I'm saying? Like. And like I barely posted it, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like I ain't even like it was just
real
shit happening. Yeah, I'm like
right.
it's like that's where it's like I learned like sayings and stuff like be where your feet are.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, all right, you here, but like are you actually doing that? Because I wasn't doing that at the time. So it was like a gradual and that was the killer because those was cousins I lost in college. But this was like my big brother. You know what I'm saying? So it's different. And it's another part of that because he was in jail since I was 9, 10. Right. He had just got out in 2020.
You were robbed of time.
Right, robbed of time. Robbed of time, and it's like it was COVID when he got out, so I couldn't really see him that much. He was in Dayton. He would try to drive back and forth, but I probably only seen him like 6 times.
Yeah.
Before I couldn't see him again. You know what I'm saying? That's where we go wrong when we got time. So that's another thing that put me into like a mode where it's like don't think you just have all the time in the world to like do everything. Be intentional with your moves and whatever you plan on doing. That's why I said taking it serious, even something small as cooking. I'm being intentional because it's like I'm eventually have to do this. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
it's gonna come.
Right. So. Yeah, man, that's how I navigated and got to that point where I'm able to, be in places to influence other kids or other people in general.
So you've kind of broadened your horizons. You've dealt with pain and grief.
Right.
You mentioned be where your feet are.
Right.
Where are your feet right now, and are you happy with where your feet are?
I'm probably the happiest I've been. Can't lie.
Yeah.
Not even like with just like my being in the Dolphins, that was I would think that was a big move as far as like my outside of the football world.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I made the move that was cool as far as being with Jalen Ramsey, but it also was like the best for my mental. Even just waking up and just seeing palm trees or just driving by the ocean.
Vitamin D.
You know what I'm saying?
We'll do it for
just
you.
like just that simple. Just opening the sunroof. And being like tired, going to the facility and just having to open the sunroof and sun, and you know what I'm saying. It's just a different, it's a different way of life that I'm living now. So, probably I'm definitely where my feet are. I'm not worrying about tomorrow, and nothing So, it's also who I surround myself with as well. So, everybody around me, they kind of get, it, because what I'm saying, they've seen it.
Yeah.
They see my growth.
They've seen what you've gone through.
You feel me?
Right.
So, I think that was the biggest thing for me, was the mental part.
Yeah. You changed your number to 11.
Yeah.
And I see on Instagram everyone calls you Sticks now, obviously, because the number changed. How supportive and how much have your new teammates been there for you? Just gotten to know you. You mentioned how big being down here has been for your mental side and for your football side. But the teammates in 1 year, how much of an effect have they had on you?
A lot, man. Even so more, I think we could just do a little more as far as hanging out outside of the facility. I think that we did that this off season. Like even with Nick Needham.
Yeah.
He was like, man, because we've been hanging. Everybody been kicking it, go bowling or whatever. But he's like, I ain't never hung like this much outside of the facility with my teammates. Like I'm like, this is how it's supposed to be.
He's been here a while too.
Right.
Yeah.
So he was like, this is how it's supposed to be. Like call your guys, because it's like that's what's gonna change the game when we on the field. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like I can be like, bro, come on, and you won't feel that way because
it's coming from a good place.
A good place. You know what I'm saying? Like if a man I ain't never hung out with come and talk to me crazy, it's just like who you talk. You know what I'm saying? It's you just look at it from a different a different way.
Yeah.
So I think that was the biggest thing as far as like being, like you said, chemistry on the field. It's just as important off the field.
You led the team in tackles last year. Is a big part of that because you were starting to at least get your footing and you were finding some sort of peace or happiness. Are we possibly seeing an even better version of David Long going into the next season?
Most definitely.
Yeah.
And it's also like coming into a new team, new DC, new scheme, and all that. I wasn't really playing that much earlier in the year as well. So that also is like a rhythm. Like with anything you do, it's a rhythm. Like the more you are in it, and like as far as repetition, like I've been doing, the better you are in the long run. So it was like, it took a little second for me to get my feet, hot, and I feel like I could have had a way better year than I did last year.
Yeah.
Like that year, you know what I'm saying? But like my mom told me, it's all for a reason. So I learned a lot, and then going to this season, I feel like I'm just saying everything's happening at the right time. Even this interview, you know what I'm saying? You came to me and my mental was great, you know what I'm saying? You came at the right time to do this, you know what I'm saying? So, or Anthony Weaver came at a great time, my mental is good, and he's putting me in places where, I can make the most of myself.
Yeah.
So, man, I really can't complain about anything right now.
Football isn't forever. We all know that, but because you mentioned the sunshine in South Florida a lot, could you see yourself being here forever? Not necessarily the Dolphins, but could you see yourself happy in South Florida?
Most definitely. I really can't, other than like, people be talking about like the hurricanes and stuff like that. I haven't, been hopefully,
hey man, we're all
good.
Knock on wood.
But it's like, that's really only concerned about living down south or next to all this water and stuff.
Yeah.
But I love it here, man. And the better my mental is for me, the better I can be to those around me. So that's, I think so.
Yeah.
Whether it's here or Tampa, I can see myself there. Sure.
It's a nice place, and I gotta tell you, I love where you're at.
Yeah.
And the food. I mean, it's just great.
I appreciate it, fam.
Thank you for cooking for us.
Still learning it.
Thank you for opening up to us. Yeah. I'm glad we came to you at the right time, and I'm glad more people can know your story and know what you've been through. And because I think a lot of times we just see stats and the numbers. We talked about it before. Football isn't just like the 8 to 10 hours you're at the facility. Or the person isn't just the 8 to 10 hours you're at the facility. You're much more than that.